Today I started my cycle and I've been craving an argument with my husband. The house was pretty peaceful, so I figured I'd make the argument from scratch. I waited until I heard him enjoying himself and thought it was the perfect time to bring up an argument from 4 years ago. I know we already talked through it, but I denied that and instead exaggerated the details of the story. Unfortunately, he said the right things, so I decided to turn up the heat. I asked him if I was a worm, if he would still love me. I didn't like his facial expression, so I registered that as him not loving me as a worm. I now have the perfect reason to cry myself to sleep tonight, in which I'll store in the fridge for later.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. Welcome back to another episode, guys. In advance, you're gonna have to forgive me as I have a sore throat and my voice is not the same. Plus, I don't have the same vibrance to it. But gentlemen, I just can't leave you a day without your dose of cringe. And talking about cringe, guys, what better way to start the video than with this one right here? One of the channel favorites. This is the cringe queen herself. This is a woman known for hugging strangers at Walmart and wanting to create giant non-binary dolls to keep her company. So let's check, gentlemen, what she has to say, as we have Ampu already cringing, and let's go.
What is your boyfriend's take on the 90-day rule that you have? Would love to hear. So my man loved it. One of the first things he said was, "That's fantastic. It takes all the pressure off of knowing when I should kiss you and when I should not." In case you're new here, the 90-day rule is no kissing, sex, sleepovers, or exclusivity until 90 days of getting to know a stranger. Now, my man and I didn't make it to 90 days. We made it to our 13th date, which I'm still super proud of because it's further than I ever went before since my divorce. But he took it really well. The thing that he kept telling me is, "I just want you to feel safe." And that
Well, gentlemen, if you don't know the 90-day rule, you have to sign a contract, you accept the term and conditions, and if you don't make it till the 19th day, a tiger spawns and attacks you, alright? This is why this man wanted to keep her safe, because otherwise you don't know what the tiger might do, right? So, what a massive simp, gentlemen. This man took a look at this woman's dating life, because let's just say that this woman is experienced, right? She's very experienced, she's been around the block, she comes with a couple divorces in hand, she comes with tons and tons of dating. She has tried to implement like 46 different dating strategies, none of them have worked. She's still single, and now she has found this simp boyfriend who said, "You know what, I've seen your dating history, I see that you've spread your legs for multiple men before me, but I'm gonna double down." I'm gonna go all in, and I'm actually going to artificially create value that doesn't exist, because for the past men, you have devalued yourself, right? So, very, very bad approach.
And that's the sign of a truly masculine man. Truly masculine men want the people around them to feel safe. Whereas toxic masculine men could care less. They are only focused on their needs and not the safety of the people around them who they're here to protect. So I explained to him that it was really important to me to build a solid foundation of friendship with a man before we got exclusive and before I got drunk on the oxytocin and the dopamine.
Yeah. So these women, guys, they always do this. When they're younger, they go clubbing, they get intoxicated, they date the men that are intoxicated and they use substances. They date the bad boys who couldn't care less about them, and then they reach a certain age and they suddenly become Mother Teresa, you know? They suddenly, "Oh, I don't want a man who smokes in his 30s, I don't want a man who drinks too much, one beer a week is enough, honey," you know? They become so Christian-like values, you know, traditional. No, miss me with that. I wish you would have that mindset before you had a couple divorces and you became a single mother with a triple-digit body count. If you only had that mindset of looking for the masculine man that you so desperately keep coming back to, then we wouldn't be here at all, wouldn't we?
And the adrenaline. I wanted to be sober dating him. so that I could really see him for who he was and not be all dick drunk. I wanted to know that he liked me, that he didn't want to just be with me for what I had to offer, which is fabulous. But that's the patterns that I've gotten into before. And I was just sick of it. I wanted a man that liked me for me, who truly wanted to be my best friend, who wanted to be a partner in my life, who we were compatible and had an emotional connection and had chemistry, but also...
Yeah. Well, sorry guys if you could hear that notification. It was actually the FBI agent that is monitoring me, telling me, bro, why are you covering this woman again? I'm so tired of her. I'll, stop doing my work because it's so tiresome to be your FBI agent. And look, I get it, being my FBI agent, monitoring everything I do. I spend covering these women every day. My FBI agent, guys, should get like a double paycheck just for witnessing this. But hey, that's what you gotta do, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're my FBI agent.
Also really had care for one another. And it's hard to know if that's present when you're totally preoccupied with making out or bed wrestling. And we developed a slow burn for one another, which was beautiful. Plus the anticipation was building up, and that was super exciting as well. And now we've just celebrated our 8-month anniversary and things are going really well. We are best friends. And I'm so grateful I did it the way I did it. And I got to give a shout out to my dating coach, Canada's dating coach, for getting me there.
Wow, 8 months. Well, I'm actually surprised this is true. Because for a woman that doesn't respect her man, 8 months is it's a long time. Now, of course, she doesn't respect him because these women, guys, what you have to know is that they inherently know that they are not worth it. All right, these women that have been messing around, they know that they don't have value. So you picking them, even though they desperately want it, at the same time, they won't respect you because you're a man who made a bad choice, right? Now, gentlemen, let's move on to another TikTok.
A woman will stay in her masculine energy until a man makes her feel safe to be comfortable in her feminine energy. Her masculine energy is a defense mechanism. It's something she does to protect herself from all the trauma she's been through. It comes from constantly being hurt and let down by people she loved. She always had to go and get it out the mud by herself with no help. She's independent. She doesn't have anyone to fall back on, and she refuses to waste any more time on men who just keep taking from her. And until a man can prove he is a provider and a safe place for her to be feminine, don't expect her energy to change.
Well, let me just get this out of my pocket, gentlemen. There it is. Victim card for you. Congratulations. A pitiful video. Have this one with the arm tattoo, guys. Looking like a convict from the 80s. And she makes the point that... Sorry. You have to bring her, gentlemen, to her feminine energy. That is your job, somehow. This is the equivalent of you telling a woman, I'm not gonna pay for the first date. I'm not gonna open the door for you. I don't have enough money to invite you to a McDonald's meal. But if you commit to me and you suck my banana for 4 months... then I will develop this masculinity that you are searching for, It's so convenient, guys. It's so convenient. Oh, yeah. Now, I know that I'm a pain in the back to deal with, but you have to actually bring me to my feminine energy, right? What a load of bullcrap. Gentlemen, I'm cackling so much. I'm starting to resemble Kamala Harris, but that's another point, gentlemen. Let's move on to our next TikTok.
If you're a woman and you're occasionally sleeping with men, you need to know this. Okay, by the second time you're sleeping with him, it's not you anymore. Like, it's your hormones. They have been taking over. Oxytocin is like everywhere in your body and you're in your nesting phase, okay? You are now addicted to this man, no matter how dusty he is, okay? So be aware, like, educate yourself and stay safe.
Again, stay safe. I don't know what these women are staying safe from. Apparently, a lot of contracts that involve tigers attacking them. If they break the 90-day rule or if they get engaged into situationships or something like this. It's so dangerous, guys. So dangerous, yet they don't follow their own advice, right? It's like the duality of keep crying about bad men, yet at the same time keep dating them somehow, But I actually agree. When women, and this goes for men as well, but to a lesser degree, but people in general, and especially women, the more they sleep around, the less pair bonding ability they have, because there is no S3X without emotion or connection, some sort of connection. Your brain, your heart, whatever you want to call it, gets involved to the other person to some degree, right? These women want to pretend that S3X is like this ordinary thing that doesn't matter at all, not how humans work, right? And so this is why men are not willing to date these women with high body counts, which go on to say that, hey, that's in the past, I'm with you now, that's what matters. No, your past matters because it's an indication of what your future will be. And these women, guys, they are worn out, they are wasted, they don't have anything to offer, you know what I mean? I've given this example in the past, that S3X and love are like a sticker, you know, so if you put a sticker somewhere, it's going to immediately stick, but then if you want to move it, you're going to unstick it and you're going to stick it somewhere else. And yes, it's going to stick as well, but with less strength, you know what I mean? And when you do that 3-4 times, the sticker loses its capability to stick because you've changed it around so much. It's exactly the same with S3X. And you can check this, there are statistics about it, that after the 3rd or 4th time, the chances of having a successful, serious relationship drastically drop. They drop from the 2nd body count moving onwards, but especially around 3 or 4 is when there is a massive drop in the chances of finding a serious partner, right? And these women, guys, that are in the upper double digits, they are unredeemable. It's over. They've crossed the point of no return. But gentlemen, enough about these 304s. Let's move on to our 2 short article stories. So we're gonna get started with this one that says, on average, how many dates until you feel comfortable having S3X with someone? So just on the topic, this question is for those who are not saving themselves for marriage or cohabitation. So basically 97% of society. Hi, I'm curious to know on average how many dates you guys have before you have S3X. I know many of you will reply when it feels right or it's subjective, which I agree with, but on average, how many dates does it take for you to feel ready? Me personally, I think my average is on the 3rd date. Edit. Even though it doesn't work for me, I can understand people's desire to wait a long time, like several weeks or more, but I don't get why so many people frame it as a binary choice, as meaningless S3X or true love, because it is. Can't it be both? No. No. Short answer, no. Long answer, no, it can't. As long as the other person is respectful and has good intentions. S3X is fun. Yeah, it is. We're not debating if S3X is fun or not. We're debating if it's worth to be doing this, alright? If it's worth to, on every 3rd day that you have, be sleeping with someone. These women, guys, they go on like 40 to 50 to 300 dates a year, and on the 3rd day they sleep around. Some of them even on the 1st date. Their body counts, gentlemen, are increasing by the day. It's hysterical. But now let's check some of the comments. First one says, 1st or 2nd date only if they have made it clear that they want something casual, and I'm also feeling it. 3rd or 4th date if we're both looking for a relationship. There's no rush, but S3X compatibility is a deal breaker. Out of all the things that could be deal breakers, I think that S3X compatibility is on the lower end of things. It's very important, but so many things to be worried about. These women are not worried if the guy has good morals. No, they can go and hook up with that person who has been in jail 7 times and beats his own mother. You know, they don't have a problem with that. But S3X compatibility, oh, such a deal breaker. And I love this part where, nah, if I'm being a 304, 1st or 2nd date, you know, break my back on the 1st date. But, you know, if we are talking about a relationship, look, I can be serious as well. 3rd or 4th date. You know, like, they're trying to make a distinction between messing around and, oh, serious relationships, boys. Time for the big talk. Hilarious. Here's a guy, he says, for me it takes 3 to 6 months. As for actually going on dates in my adult life, I've only regularly dated one person for 3 months. He was constantly trying to have S3X after the 2nd date. Another one here says, well, how did you get them to do it with you on the first date? Another one says, as many as it takes for me to forge a deep emotional and intellectual connection with someone. Another one says, if I'm meeting someone from a dating app, I usually talk for 2 weeks before meeting them just to be sure they have potential. Yada yada. The first date, why not? Why not? And we're gonna end with this one. As a woman, it takes around 12 weeks of knowing each other, and we have defined the relationship before me being fully comfortable. It depends on each person, but as a general rule, I heard a lot of women waiting 12 weeks before having S3X with someone. So this is a good take. Now, I personally believe that keeping yourself for marriage is the best approach. Statistically speaking, making a comparison between societies in the past that had this practice and the world nowadays, I think it's not up for debate. That it's obviously true that keeping yourself till marriage is better. But at this point, gentlemen, it's like I'm not even gonna make that point. We're way past that. We're not gonna bring that back. All right. So at this point, it's like, yeah, man, nobody is telling these women to be, like monks or something. To be 40-year-old virgins until they meet that man. No, just a lot of men will settle for, please, can you not reach the double digits at age 25? Can you please not do that, right? And it's also the intent, guys. If these women were waiting 12 weeks, even just 12 weeks, 3 months, if they were just waiting 3 months before getting to know the other person and actually defining a relationship, their body counts will be less than 5 at age 30, right? Because they have expectations. They're not willing to get into a serious relationship with just about anyone. It takes time to get to know someone. You're not always compatible. And if you do that and you get into relationships that probably last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, at the age of 30, they will have a body count of 3 or 4, which is acceptable for today's standards. Like any woman that has a body count way above that, there's no other reason for that than they just, consciously, actively chased that life of hedonism. But now, gentlemen, let's move on to another short one. Do I hate nice guys? Oh, what a favorite topic, guys. I started talking to, by the way, leave me your thoughts about this previous story. How do you feel about S3X? How long do you wait? But now this woman says, I started talking to this guy about a month ago and I really liked him and he seemed super genuine compared to my past awful situationships. Situationship. We hung out recently and I was over the moon that everything went well and that we both had an interest in each other, but then the next day I immediately started trying to find things wrong with him and I feel myself getting the ick all of a sudden. This always happens to me when I find a nice guy, genuine guy, and end up pushing them away, and I don't understand why. So we have a classical case here. We from the Red Pill, the Manosphere, have been shouting from the rooftops that you deal with a lot of bad boys and you actively choose them, you lose pair bonding ability, you become addicted to anxiety, you become alpha widow, there's all those negatives. And women just don't want to listen. I don't understand why. I don't understand it. This woman is probably in her 30s and she pretends that she doesn't understand it. Come on, man. Like, come on now. Who doesn't understand this? Like, how many women do we need to go down the same path that always leads to the same results to finally get this point through their thick heads? Let's check some of the comments. You're trying to find things wrong with him is textbook avoidant attachment behavior. You need therapy. Sincerely, another avoidant. Go fuck yourself, another avoidant. What avoidant? What does it even mean? And how does it have... What does avoidance have to do with picking the wrong boys all the time? It has nothing to do. Can you stop with these crappy terms that don't mean anything? It's not avoidant. There's a word for it. Addiction to anxiety. That's what it is. It's like a substance addict, He's addicted to destroying his life through substances. It's the same thing. These women are addicted to chat, to bad treatment. They cannot live without it. And they will actively sabotage good relationships so they can be in one that is bad, because that's where they feel comfortable. That's what it is. Oh, it's avoidant. Go F yourself. Avoidant, guys. These people, they try to act all mighty, all intelligent, all wise on me, you know? Yet they cannot even explain their terms, and what the hell do they mean? These terms that have come in the last years, like avoidant and all those things, they are so generic, so not specific, they don't mean anything at all. It's a completely wrong narrative. Hell. Another one says, snack theory. It doesn't sound like the problem is with good guys, it sounds like the problem is that you look for things that are wrong with him, or don't reroute your brain when it starts doing that. So my boy snack theory is not only good, but theorizing about snacks, but also about relationships. Another one says, maybe you developed a pattern where you get attracted by people who treat you like trash and reject those who treat you well. Low self-esteem? It could be. People over here, guys, are starting to pick up on the fact that that's something that happens. Yes, it's low self-esteem, it's having no respect towards oneself. Right? So many red flags come with this. But let's finish, guys, please, with more avoidant behavior. This guy says, avoidant behavior. It's probably a woman. And don't hear guys talking about avoidance. It's probably a woman. Avoidant behavior. Our intuition is telling you he's not a good mate for whatever reason. Depends what phase your hormones are into. You may be attracted to him sometimes, but not all the time. So avoidant, intuition telling you that he's wrong. Yeah, it couldn't be that you're addicted to anxiety and that's why you pick the wrong boys over and over again. No, it's that your intuition is telling you that the good guys are actually hidden red flags. Make it make sense. And then my boy, Acid Factory 420, coming here with he hits the what do you call it, the bullseye, right? This, get the ick for good people, go for bad people, then complain that she has been ill-treated by men all her life. Absolutely, gentlemen. As I'm starting to have a very hard time talking, so we're gonna finish the video shortly, but this is what women do, guys, right? All these women on my channel that keep yapping about, oh, the bad boys, why are all men the same? Not all men are the same. The top 10, top 20% of men that she's speaking, they are usually the same. That's what they refer to, right? They go picking the same bad boys over and over again, and they think that the whole male gender is like this, you know? No, the people you are choosing are the bad people. And it says more about you than it says about them, because you are the one picking them, right? But gentlemen, we'll end here. My voice is suffering, but I just had to make this video, guys. I can't not do one of those videos. So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for enduring this train of cringe with me and with my FBI agent and with Ampu. And I'll see you boys on the next one. Bye.